live.
Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, isn't it? I've lost a day somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Yes, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. It is 8 o'clock. It is Retro Gaming Revival Live. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I can see the chat is starting to build up, so we will jump into that in just a minute. But yeah, before we introduce our guest, we will go round and just see which reprobates we have on with us this evening. So we have got Mr. Triangle Face Tim from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Hello.
We have Mr. Dorber.
Greetings, all right.
And our guest this evening is Twitch streamer SaintMichelle. Welcome.
Hello, greetings.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much for being on. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Cold?
Excellent.
I'm not nervous at all.
Oh,
It is quite warm in this room, but it's freezing outside.
It is freezing.
It's
too
cold everywhere at the moment. Like, I think I've turned the heating off in this room because no one's been in it all day. So I should have put the heating on really, but instead I'm just going to freeze and hope to God no one can see my teeth chattering. So let's run with that. So, who have we got in the chat this evening? We have got Mr. Paul Rager. Good evening, sir. We have got Mr. Rob Taylor. Oh, my mouse is playing up. That's not a good start, is it? Come on, mouse, click. Show Rob Taylor. There we are. Mr. Rob Taylor, how are we doing? Good, sir. Lovely to see you.
Good evening. Hey, Jumanji.
People following to see you. Excellent. Good evening, Jumanji. Nice to see you there. We have Mr. Matt Knowles. Oh, my God, this mouse is doing
hubby.
Nothing. Oh, my God, someone click on
your
that.
hubby. Oh.
Matt Knowles.
Is he related to Nick Knowles?
Mick Knowles, yeah.
Nick Knowles. No, Nick Knowles.
No.
Oh, what's he on? What's he on? He's on a TV show. I can't remember what he's.
You can find it now.
Was that not the home one, the home improvement one? It's first tangent of the night.
Yes. Yeah, and he was on. I think he was on Big Brother or something, and he used to play guitar. Anyway,
Ryan is saying it's DIY SOS.
That's it, DIY
SOS.
Excellent. Mr. Ryan there as well. Ryan, nice to join in and calling Dr. Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, people following you. This is fantastic. Welcome, everyone that's new. Hope you enjoy your stay. Excellent. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to be chatting to you about tonight. But we will, first of all, address one of the elephants in the room, and that is Blunners isn't here again. So we're going to get hashtag Blunwatch going out there. If you've seen Blunners, if you know his whereabouts, do text that number. I believe it is a working number as well. Someone did text it last time.
I have my old LG cookie phone with that number ready to get any messages. I think we got a couple last time, which is quite funny, but yeah.
We did.
You can just text a message through, text some abuse through, whatever.
I like that. That'd be good.
And any of the ones that we can read out loud, we will do. The funnier the better, but let's see if we can keep it fairly clean. I'm sure the abuse will will follow from that. So, Michelle, our first topic that we ask everyone that comes on is to talk about their early gaming memories. That doesn't have to be gaming from child, because we've had people that have only been gaming for a few years come on and join us. It's just your earliest gaming memories. So what is it that got you into video games?
It was actually my dad. I remember I asked him the other day, how old was I? Because I couldn't remember how old I was. I think I was about 5 or 6. And it was actually the NES. So the box Square Nintendo. I've got a game here, actually. It's this one.
The classic.
Mario and the Ducks.
Classic, yeah.
I I just remember having the orange plastic guns that you used to shoot the ducks and the plates
Yes.
with.
Yeah.
Have that down the back there from
Yeah.
somewhere. It's hidden in there somewhere. Yes.
I would love to play that again. If I had all the old games, I'd love to play them now.
Yeah.
So I was quite close to my brother Johnny. My brother was a year younger than me. So we used to always play co-op games together, but I threw the controller at him a few times, I'm not going to lie.
You ever know? I didn't
Yeah.
find this out until years later, but you could control the ducks with a second controller in port number 2 on the NES. And they
Oh,
can
I
get them to
didn't
like
know
change
that.
direction of the ducks. It doesn't do a lot. Literally, you can just change what direction they fly in, so it just registers left and right. But I didn't know that like back when I played it as a kid, but then I found that out only a few years later. And it does actually work. I thought someone was having me on, but yeah, player 2
nice.
can control the ducks.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So
Exciting.
that's my first one. And I think
Mm-hmm.
after that, we went from that one to a Nintendo 64. And that's my main console was a Nintendo 64. I love that.
What a system.
Favorite
is-
game on Nintendo 64. I have to say
Ooh.
7.
Is
GoldenEye.
what?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good game.
Purely because I had so many good memories on it. I used to whine my cousin Martina. She'd come over and visit. Me and Johnny would play, and you had your split screen. Especially if we had the golden gun.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
it. The blood
Yeah.
was just going down the screen, and she'd get so angry, and we used to laugh our heads off. I love that game.
Have you played it
My mate-
recently?
Go
Hmm?
Have you played it recently?
Well, it's very hard to play now.
Yeah.
I
It's
can't even
garbage.
remember how to move. I'm so used
No.
to 2 analog sticks now, but Nintendo
Yeah.
64's only got 1.
Yeah.
'Cause we
Yes,
was in, well, I think it was in Stratford, weren't we, Ollie? And they had a bar
Yep.
with N64 and GoldenEye, and we were just playing it, and I was like, this is dreadful. But at
It's
the
just-
time, I was like, this
it's
is
hard.
amazing.
It's a
but now
hard game to
like,
play,
oh,
isn't it?
gosh.
Did
But
not
when my
age
mates used
well.
to do like, you can change all the settings, can't you? When you do your death matches. And we used to do 4-player death match in the facility. And I think we had automatic pistols with 1-shot kills. And we had a rule where you had to like be a character in a suit. And we just called it Mafia Wars. And we just had this like gun. I don't know why. That's just a setup we had once. And we just enjoyed it so much. That was like our go-to. So whenever we went to go play 007, we're like, oh, should we do our Mafia Wars setup? And we just have facilities, 1-shot kill with pistols.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a good fun one to do.
Match just reminded me though of DK mode where they had the big heads, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
If
You
you
had like paintball and things like that as well, didn't you? Yeah, there's loads of different things you go in and tweak the settings.
I used to like slaps only. You just walk around, just walk around slapping each other. That was
I even like the sounds on it as well, though.
yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
nostalgic.
There is a documentary on Sky, and it's all about GoldenEye, but I can't remember what it's called. My memory is shocking, but yeah, there's a documentary on Sky, and it's all about the game, how they made it, and all the music behind it and stuff like that. So that's quite interesting if you've got a
I
spare
would
50
watch
minutes.
that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find out what it is.
I'm sure I heard that like one of the reasons
Yeah,
the
my Sky
multiplayer was so good was that they made the multiplayer first and then they built the single player campaign afterwards, which typically wasn't done back then. But they actually built the multiplayer first.
Okay, I could see why that would work because it was
I know
really
they
good.
did a remake of it, but I've never actually played it.
I
did.
have
That was
a
on the
remake
Wii, wasn't
of
it?
Yeah, I've actually got the remake on the Wii, and I'm ashamed to say I've never played it. Because
dear.
they
Oh,
had
dude.
it. Well, I had it, and I had some friends who was like, "Hey guys, who wants to play GoldenEye on the Wii?" And I was like, "Oh, I used to love GoldenEye. Do you have the N64 version?" Well, actually, I do. Should we play that one? Okay, so I put the Wii version back. We got out the N64, so it inspired me to play the N64 version again and play it more. I've still never actually played the Wii version, but I've got it. In my
It's
collection of
okay.
Wii games.
It's the definition
Okay,
of
right,
okay.
the documentary is called Golden Era. So anyone wants to watch
Good
that?
name for that.
I
Okay.
did. Yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. It's very, very quite interesting. But yeah, it's on Sky. You can download it if you've got Sky boxes, whatever. But yeah, Golden
While we're
Era.
on-
So yeah,
While
Yeah.
we're on that topic of GoldenEye, that's finally getting its sort of HD remake or remaster next year, isn't it?
I'm excited for that.
Yes. Ryan said that it is. It is. I think it's going to be on everything. I'm sure it'll definitely be on Switch, but I'm going to be interested to see whether or not the controls are going to be. I don't know. They must have adjusted it for like 2 analog sticks now, surely.
Yeah, hopefully.
we'll see. We shall see.
That we shall. So with Nintendo 64, that is around the era that people would normally then start jumping ship because you normally would have the Sega Nintendo behemoths up to that point, but that's when the PlayStation started coming into
Mhm.
play. So around N64 time, after that, did you stick with Nintendo or did you start jumping ship?
I jumped ship. But I will tell you the story. It's an interesting story on why. So you could order stuff online then as well. And one day this big box arrived, and inside it was a PlayStation 2, which was brand new, just came out at that time, and it had 2 games with it. And my mum didn't order it, my dad didn't order it. Me and Johnny definitely did not order it. Even to this day, nobody knows who ordered this PlayStation.
Wow.
And my mum sat down and went, Michelle, did you order the PlayStation? I won't be angry with you. No, Mum, it wasn't me. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it was my brother Johnny, or whether it was Dad just wanting to get around Mum. I still to this day don't know who ordered that PlayStation 2, but that's how I got onto that.
I think
That's
the last.
amazing.
I think the latter is probably the thing that actually happened. Your dad did it and circumvented. Who's ordered this to kind
Yeah.
of to get.
I think
get
he
around
ordered it for himself. That was it.
Probably.
And then he pretended, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the PS2 is normally I think where most people jumped because not many people could do the sort of multi-console thing. Sort of back then, you normally had a system and you'd stick with it for a while. But yeah, the PlayStation 2, that was definitely when I jumped ship properly for sure. That was
Yeah.
that was
That's
a
how I got into
behemoth.
Tomb Raider.
Oh, so good. I don't think there are
is
that
good.
many bad games. Well, there's definitely some bad games on the PS2. There's like 4,000 games on the system, but it's
Wow, I
it's
didn't know there was
such
that many.
it's crazy. I think, but that's complete everything. If you were to like take all the games from Japan and all the exclusives that everybody got, but yeah, that system is insane. I've got so many good memories of that. Even football games. I do not enjoy football. Me and Tim are the 2 people in the group that don't really follow football, but playing things like Pro Evolution on PS2 was so much fun.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh, man.
My favorite game, the one that stands out the most to me, is the Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. I
Yep.
want to say that was on PlayStation 2. I can't fully remember now. But a lot of people didn't know about that one.
No.
Angel
And
of
it was one of my
Darkness.
favourites. Yeah, it was quite a dark
Fine.
one.
That's it. Someone get on the Google and
I'll
find out
just
whether it was PS2
look
because
it
there's
up.
there was one on PlayStation 2 that I
not
didn't
PS2.
play.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Bloody hell, that's well
The
expensive.
front cover, it's
was-
like 53 quid, eh?
Really?
Yeah.
I wish I still had that one. I remember it being set in Prague, and you actually had another playable character in that game. So there was a
Looking
man
at-
that you could play, and he had
Looking at that
like
cover-
psychic powers.
I'm
don't have
sure
that.
I've got that. Let me just check my
I don't know if it's just me, but looking at that cover,
game
was
eye.
that some sort of tie into the film at all? Because there was a Tomb Raider movie, wasn't there? And
Well, it's the
front
Angelina
cover, like,
Jolie
yeah.
movies, right?
Yeah, the front cover of that looks like it resembles a bit like the front cover of the Angelina Jolie movie.
Okay.
Was
I
that
don't
potentially a movie
know.
tie-in? Well, let me see when it came out.
Do you know what? I've actually
Second
got that on the
tangent of the
PS2.
evening.
I've had all my stuff's in storage, but I have actually got that on the PS2.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Checking
I loved
the
it. She
app.
had a denim outfit.
Okay, 2003 is when it came out.
20th of June 2003. But yeah, I have got that, and it's complete, box complete. So Blunners will be pleased. It's box complete.
Yeah.
So game, manual, and box. So yeah, I've actually got that. Oh, if I knew that, I would have dug that one out.
Excellent. So from PS2, was that your launch into PlayStation and then kind of sticking with PlayStation?
Yes, I used to have a PC when I was younger, so I played Tomb Raider on the PC, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did on the PlayStation. But the one game that I prefer on a PC is actually Sims.
Yeah.
I don't allow myself to play Sims anymore because my children would not have a mother if I played that game. I get addicted. It's scary.
It's one of those series that I can totally see why having a mouse works. It's like theme park, isn't it? You kind of need a mouse for that to work in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's like it's also the keyboard buttons as well, and sticking in your cheat codes and getting all that money and
Yeah. So I've been playing a bit of 2 Point Campus over the summer, and as fun as it was, I just kept thinking this needs a mouse. It needs to be on a computer. Really, it's a good game, but it definitely needs to be on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Amiga.
my prediction was way off. The Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness game came out in 2003, and the Tomb Raider film came out in 2018. So the box art is in no way influenced by the film. So.
No, there was one before that.
Was there?
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of them actually that came out. I had a look earlier just to remind myself. There's loads.
Yeah, because Daniel Craig's in it when he wasn't famous. And he
Oh,
looked-
Yes,
there
yes, I remember
is
that.
a Tomb Raider film. Actually, it says 2003. It's Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Yes, that's the Joe Lee ones.
Yeah, the Cradle of Life came out in 2003. I'm thinking of the one that came out in 2001. Sorry, the more recent. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one, aren't I? That's right.
Oh, Tim.
Come on, Stato.
Oh, Tim. All right, that's it. Remove Google search from Tim. Unreliable
Okay.
source.
Oh, you know what?
Unreliable.
I know what it is now. For some reason, I open a new window. It's not on Google. I'm on Bing. So I'm going to blame
Oh,
Bing.
Oh, bloody
Oh.
Bing. Oh.
Bing.
Why is it
Be on
default to a Bing
DuckDuckGo
search?
soon.
So,
Bing. Terrible
we just
browser.
got
Terrible
a-
kids TV show.
There is a game you could browse for me because I can't remember the name, and that was one of the games that came with the PS2 when it arrived. So he looked like a Maoin guy, and he used to shoot. He had a sword, and he used to have this little girl character with him that used to shoot an arrow. I want to say it was Kai. Something. It begins. There's a letter K in there.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually quite a good game, but not a lot of people knew about it.
Okay.
I can
If
see if I
anyone
can
in
try
the-
and find it.
If anyone in the chat is getting a ring on this, do throw
Rhaegar.
it up in the chat as
Yeah,
well.
Rhaegar will be on the case.
He is. Rhaegar Den generally has a good knowledge for this kind of thing.
Look.
Sadly,
Kai.
someone has texted me.
Oh, is this the first Blum
It is
Watch
the
text?
First. Sure, I've just seen Blunners in the crowd during the Morocco versus France match. He was holding a replica World Cup. So, don't know if that intel is completely accurate, but I would like to think it is. So maybe we
So-
should Photoshop his face on that chap with the World Cup, the fake World Cup.
So he's made it all the way to Qatar.
He has, yeah. Which was weird because I think he was at work this morning, so I don't know. He must have,
Teleport.
yeah.
Yeah. I think he was also probably teaching his under 10s football team. It is, I think, that he coaches as well. But made it to Qatar in record time.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive. He must have gone Concorde. Must have brought that back for the day.
Right. So pulling it back in, because I'm just seeing there's lots of other things. I told you the tangents are real and they happen frequently. So
I found the name of that game.
Oh,
hit
on,
us.
what was it?
let's have a look. What is it?
It's called The Mark of Kai.
The Mark of
The
Kai.
mark. Everyone
Or Cry.
immediately
No,
runs-
hang on. Cry.
Oh,
So
Cry.
CRI. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and immediately runs to Google.
Cry.
Do you know?
I don't know
don't
what
think
reviews
I've-
it had.
I've never seen that before.
No. What's it like?
It's actually quite good.
The Mark of Cry.
Almost looks a bit cell shaded, doesn't it?
Everyone immediately
Almost-
runs to
almost
eBay
kind
as
of
well
like-
to see.
I am looking on
it'd be
eBay,
worth
yeah.
£1,000.
Almost looks kind
Uh,
of Disney animation in a way.
You can pick it up
Yeah,
for
it
as
did.
low as £3.
Oh,
on
that
eBay,
works.
so
£3. There
Yeah.
you go.
it's not a pricey
Excellent.
game, unfortunately, but you can pick it up for £3. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look half bad. It's pretty good.
Oh, there's a
pulling it-
poster. There's a poster on there for
As
123.
soon as you go
sorry.
to pull it back in, Dorbs come straight in again.
There is a poster on there for £123 if you want one.
I'm all right, actually.
But
Thanks.
yeah.
So, next topic is your favorite console, your favorite game, and the two don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can have a favorite game from a different console, but you might have a favorite console that you just enjoy collecting for.
My favourite console has to be Nintendo 64.
Strong
I think
choice.
I just enjoyed it so much. There were so many different games. Like there was a wide range of games you could play on it.
Mhm. Good,
Favorite
strong choice.
game? I'm gonna say Mario Kart because even the new ones are good. I love playing it with me and the boys. They've got switches and we just connect it to the TV and we play it. And I love all the new maps as well.
Mm,
They're quite good. I'm glad they've done well with Mario Kart.
yeah. Oh man,
I
it's a
had
shame
a bit
Blum
of,
isn't here.
I-
'Cause that is his jam.
What
So I
did
had a
you
bit of
think?
FOMO from these new carts. I actually picked up. I actually got my copy of Mario Kart 8 on Switch today, so it arrived earlier today.
Excellent.
What did you
Nice.
think, Michelle? What did you think of the Mario Kart on the Wii?
On the Wii,
Yeah.
so I never really played it too much, but I did. I don't know. I couldn't really sell it. I don't think I played it enough to. What about you?
I thought it was good, apart from Rainbow Road, because that track is just impossible. It's ridiculous.
I hate Rainbow Road.
Awful.
The
It's
new
worst
one
track.
does not look like Rainbow Road. I think it looks more like Disco Road. Have you seen the
Yes.
new one?
Yep,
Oh.
on 8, it does. It's got that vibe about it.
It should
I
be
think
called
actually the
Disco.
Wii, I think the Wii version is the one that I've played the most, because I just got me and my wife got really into playing Mario Kart on the Wii, because she's not overly good at doing like games with joysticks and stuff. With the wheel on the Wii, she could like turn the wheel, and then she could play that really well. So we used to play that loads. So I think that's probably the one I played the most.
Hard with the wheel.
Yeah, I didn't like doing the wheel. I would always have the
Oh.
nunchuck and the wand,
Yeah, that's
and
what
do
you
it that
need,
way
isn't
with
it?
an analog stick. You could like slightly adjust your turns and stuff, but she got along a lot better with the wheel. So.
Yeah. Hello, Jane.
I don't actually. I put it in the wheel just to hold it, but I still use the analog stick. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
I
do
want the
that.
analog stick.
And then you
I
just
do.
do the
Thing is, though, I think I play a lot more games, so I'm used to like doing the small adjustments with the analog stick, whereas my wife prefers to actually turn a wheel, and she gets along a lot better with that. Yeah, we're quite evenly matched on Mario Kart. Actually, she's pretty good. So we went for a phase where she would win quite a lot, and I tried the car that she used. So she was using the Concerto Mario Kart Wii, and she was consistently winning. And I was like, I'm going to try this car that you seem to think is really good. And then I started winning, and I felt a bit bad after that, because then I just consistently started winning once I started using the same car as her.
Yeah, Tim.
But, no, still very, very
Warm-up
close
games,
races,
dear.
though. Very, very close races. So I've actually bought her. I'm not going to use the wheel, but I bought her a wheel so that if we start playing again, she can have that. So I've just got the one.
Aren't you a kind husband?
Well, all those years playing on Nintendo 64 on the Mario Kart, I did not know that you could drift 3 times to give you a boost. I did not know this until last year when we had our first ever format event. Wraith Energy did a Nintendo 64 race, and they did a competition. Whoever got the fastest time, you know, the one we did the time lap around what map is that now? Do you know which was the main map that everyone used to do? Can you remember the time lap on it? And so you had a little ghost that followed you around the map. Oh, what's it called? It's going to annoy me.
What, on the 64 version?
Yeah.
This
I'll
is where
find it out.
someone's gonna throw it in the chat in a minute, and everyone's gonna go, "That's it."
Come on, what's the name of it? I don't know if it's something to do with Yoshi. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, they did a competition, and whoever won a PlayStation 5.
Oh, wow.
Gutted I didn't win. All the way to the end, and right at that corner, I went off the road right at the corner near the end.
Ah, disgraceful.
No. I remember I used to play Mario Kart 64 with a few friends. I made one of my friends rage quit a couple of times. I do agree that this was a bit of a dick move, but you could get the lightning bolts. It's on the map of the Wario dirt track one.
Yeah.
And there's a bit where you jump over the ramp. And if you fell down that bit, you'd be really far behind. I think I had a lightning bolt, and I specifically waited until he was just about to go over that ramp, and I hit it, and he fell down the bit. And he didn't. He put the controller down, didn't play anymore. And there's one we'd done the whole. I'm talking all the way from start to finish, every single course in a huge cup. And I think it was all on the line of the last race. And I had a green shell, and I hit him with the green shell literally like a foot before the finish line, and drove past him and won.
Oh, yeah.
Disgrace.
I mean, that was just.
I wouldn't play with you either.
You're gonna try that.
Tactics.
The first one I admit was a bit unfair. I didn't actually have to watch your screen and wait until it was there and then hit it. But the green shell, you're supposed to do that. So
See, we race
that
fairly.
was-
We don't cheat like you, Tim.
There's
We race fairly.
weapons. It's not cheating. There's weapons in the game.
I don't like that.
You're supposed to do that sort of stuff.
I can feel a Mario Kart challenge coming on, Tim. On the we're going to meet up on the 30th of December for our just random Christmas piss up and game playing. So I'm going to challenge you to some Mario Kart. I think.
Okay.
I want to know who wins.
I'll have to get some practice.
yes.
And I've only just picked up
Oh, yes.
this version of Mario Kart. The thing is, like we talked about this on the last stream. I had Mario Kart 8 already on the Wii U, so I'd never bother picking up on the Switch. But there are some slight differences. There's a difference in how many weapons you can hold. And for me, it was a big difference maker. I was like, no, I'm going to get this one. And all the new tracks as well. I was like,
Yeah, the
Blunners
new
was
tracks are
giving me
quite
FOMO on the new tracks. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get this and get the new tracks. So,
I don't need to practice, so
I
pick it
do
up.
like that the boys can unlock new cars and new wheels, new umbrella things like they are.
Yep.
I like that.
It's one of those series that is just consistently good. I don't actually think there is a bad Mario Kart game.
no, I don't think so.
No, I don't think
Good
so.
at all.
Yeah.
Normally,
All
in
good.
a few different various seasons or series, you can tell that there's some standout games and there's some games that are just okay. But I don't think there's a bad Mario Kart game.
Hmm.
I'm just
The
gonna,
one
What
that's-
did you
I'm gonna
think
that
of
stands out
Bowser's
as a bit-
Castle?
Bowser's Castle on the new one,
No, the Nintendo, the 64 one.
the 64 one.
I like
Do you
that.
know,
I like that one.
it's been that long since I've played Mario Kart 64 that I probably couldn't remember it unless I could see the level.
That tells me you think it's terrible or unforgettable. No, or forgettable.
Unforgettable.
It's very forgettable. Yeah, so
It's,
that tells me.
yeah, it's been a long time since I've played Mario Kart 64. It's one of the unless I meet up with someone specifically to play that particular game, because all of my retro games are unfortunately in the loft. When we added little baby Gwen to our family, there went my my idea of having a games room when we moved house. Of course, I wouldn't be without her whatsoever, but it does mean that all of the retro stuff is now in the loft. So I'm banking on my son moving out ASAP so that we can get that games room on the go. So when that happens, I'll be able to set that up and be able to see where we're at with that.
Idiot.
Look forward to it.
Okay, so that is another win for Mario Kart. Who else was it that said Mario Kart was their favorite series?
I can't remember.
I'm sure someone has.
Yeah. Maybe someone in the chat can tell us. We're doing a lot of this, aren't we?
We'd
Someone in
ask the chat. The chat can tell us everything. They know more about what's going on than we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so what games are you currently playing at the moment? Apart from COD.
Okay. So recently, I haven't told you guys, I've actually got repetitive strain injury, gamer's thumb, texter's thumb. So I haven't actually been able to play Call of Duty a lot. So I tried a demo game, which was from one of our game developers from Format, and it was called Bubblegum Zombie Hunter. And it looks very retro. It's got a really quirky style and quirky story. It is. Let's have a look. What I wrote it down. No, I didn't write it down. Look it up. You can download the demo. It's free on Steam now.
Yeah.
You can play it by keyboard and mouse, which what I tried to do first, and I'm absolutely shite at it. So sorry for swearing. But you can play on controller as well. So the developer Brendan, he would not give me any clues, any tips, and I just played and I kept dying. I was just like, I got so frustrated, but I loved it at the same time, so I kept going back to it. So you're this girl character. There you go. That's it.
Reject.
You get all different types of bullets for your gun. You pick up all different perks, which give you different abilities, and it makes it easier for the game.
Hit with the copyright strike.
Yeah, I didn't realize it had sound. Apologies for that.
I loved it.
It looks a lot of fun. I do like those sort of third-person things. Is it like if you were to play it with the controller? Is it like a twin stick?
That you're on now?
Yep.
That game in the middle, that he's actually got lots of mini games inside it, so you could actually go into that arcade game and play it.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
Like an arcade cab.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Cool. There's a few games that did that. There was a Call of Duty. It's immediately like drawed it onto Call of Duty, wasn't it? Was it Black Ops where you could play Zork?
I'm not sure, Did I do that?
I'm sure it's one of the Black Ops games. I'm sure it's the really old text adventure game Zork that you can play in that. But yeah, that looks very, very cool. I'd be interested to know whether if you played it with the controller, is it like a twin stick shooter, so you kind of move with one and aim with the other, or whether you kind of
twin stick. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for earlier.
That's such a good. I can feel a purchase coming in. That does look like a lot of fun.
I can't wait for the full game to come out. I've actually I've got a thing for gaming nails. So right now you can see I've got Super Mario nails.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of getting Bubblegum Zombie Hunter on my nails for our next event.
Wow.
Got to be done. I can see Kev in the chat there popped up that he's playing Callisto Protocol at the moment. I have still not put that. It's there. It's looking at me. It needs to go in. I'm just trying to finish up Plague Tale at the moment, and then I'll be jumping on that with you, Kev, and then I'm sure we'll have many a thing to talk about. Kev is another one of my old friends who is a big horror fan. So, Kev, how is Callisto Protocol?
Have you done
in the chat?
Inevitable 100 gig update?
I haven't even taken it out of the wrapper yet.
Ooh, yeah, I'll do that quick.
No, sorry, Kev's there. Put Requiem. No, I'm still playing Innocence before I get to Requiem. Okie dokie. So, you are known for streaming COD. We can see you've got your Warzone sort of little plaque in the back there. So, of all the COD games, what would you say is your favorite COD game? Because this could be a divisive topic. COD can be quite divisive at times anyway. So your favorite COD game could be a divisive choice.
I'm going to have to go ahead and say Warzone.
That's
I know it. There's so
got-
many different opinions on this, but I loved it. I love playing as part of a team. I like how co-op you can be. You need an objective. You're all going. You play better and you work better when you actually work together, and I love it. So through the lockdown, I actually started on Grand Theft Auto with my brother Johnny and his mates, and we would just be on it every day, every night, messing around. And then they thought, oh, we'll jump onto Fortnite. I was literally in there for about a week. I got really addicted to looting, and I could just hear the sound of that loot box, like whatever that sound is. And then we jumped into Warzone, and Warzone was like, okay, this is like the adult version of Fortnite. This is cool. And I got lost in there. My brother was like back on GTA and Fortnite, and I was lost in Warzone. I was there with my massive PKM and my bright pink camo. And yeah, I met friends in there. We played every night. Sean and Lee from Scotland, from the very far north Scotland.
Ooh,
We're
that's
really
cool.
good mates.
Wow.
I've made some really cool friendships online that I've never met before, and I love it.
Excellent. So Warzone, you're going to go with Warzone. Do you know, because I sort of fallen in and out of love with COD sometimes, so I haven't actually put Warzone or played it. I've watched quite a lot of people play it, and it does look like a lot of fun, and it also looks like probably the best, I think, game model for an online multiplayer for Call of Duty, because I think people predominantly pick up the latest Call of Duty to play the multiplayer. Very rarely do people go, that was an amazing campaign, because everyone just sort of sods the campaign off and plays multiplayer. So to have something that's like a dedicated Call of Duty multiplayer game that kind of just gets added on updates and it constantly evolves, and they're going to support it for, I'm presuming, until they get bored of it. It's just such a good move for them. And it seems to have done incredibly well for, I guess, the people that really sort of dig that multiplayer experience, because you don't really see many people stream anything other than Warzone. It seems to be a really, really big hit with people. I kind of feel like I'm missing out now.
It's like a love or hate relationship. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I absolutely hate the game. I leave my game room. So this is kind of my room.
Yeah.
And I'll walk through the living room and I've got a face on and my grump. And Matt's like, you're right. COD problems. Yeah. Don't talk to me. But I do. I love it. So I don't know. Did you guys ever hear of Battlefield? Well, you will have heard of it. Battlefield 3 was what I used to play a few years ago.
Yeah.
Brandon, my eldest at the time, would have been about 3 or 4. And I was obsessed with that. But I didn't realize then that you could play with microphones and talk to them. I didn't have one. And I used to go, I'd drop him to nursery and I'd come back and I'd have a go on Battlefield at that time, because my American friend would come on at the same time. We knew we'd always be on at that same time.
Quality.
But that was very much like Warzone, because you could be a medic and you could revive each other. You could put a med box down. You could either be an assault or you could be a sniper. I remember Matt used to play and he'd have a snipe off on this side of the map with someone else on that side, and they would just keep going back to the same spot every time they respawned. So that's why I like Warzone, because it felt very similar to that.
Okay. I feel like I've talked myself into missing out on a game that I have yet to install. So is it still free to play? Or is
Warzone?
it something? Yeah.
Yeah, still free to play. I'll play with you if you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, maybe we should
Insane.
download it. Maybe we should.
Maybe we should stream it, all of us together, and play Warzone.
Man,
I don't want to show you all up though.
If you want to see someone suck badly, like I can play Elden Ring, I can play Dark Souls, I can play Demon Souls, I can play games that are punishingly difficult. But online, generally, like an online multiplayer that requires a bit of skill, I suck balls.
Yeah,
very
I've
hard.
never been
It's just die,
into any of the
respawn,
Call of
respawn.
Duties or any of the more sort of realistic ones. I've always kind of gotten into like sci-fi. I tend to get into things like Halo or Titanfall, things like that. So I played quite a lot of. I think Halo Reach was the one for me that I kind of got really into playing with friends online, and we did pretty well. But my my mates that played it were like way better than I was. I was kind of like the weak link in the team. They carried me. So going into like a Call of Duty game, I just know I'm just gonna, die and respawn.
Don't
I feel
don't
like
play
it
online.
would make a good
It's
stream.
pressure.
I feel like it would make a good stream. We'd be
Never
so
know.
terrible that it would be entertaining.
They've got proximity chat as well now, so you can, when you're close to an enemy, you can hear each other and talk to each other.
Oh,
So say like if we're on this part of the map and we're starting to run into a different building and you can hear the enemies talking, you could just be quiet and try and listen for their comms and figure out where they are. Or you could choose to talk to each other. So many people will say, oh yeah, don't kill me, we'll team up, but then they either do team up or they don't. Bang.
Yeah, bang.
Backstabs. Oh man, I kind of feel like we need to do this now. This is going to be a thing. We'll have to set something up for the new year and see.
You
see if
definitely
we can...
get like a big advantage if you're in a team that know each other and you're on headsets and you're talking and you're communicating.
Yeah.
So whenever I used to play Halo Reach online, me and my friends would have the same like logo, because you could do like your own little logo and your color scheme and stuff. So we clearly looked like we're in a team, and we would go up against people that normally you could tell they're just like 4 random people that have been thrown together in a lobby. And we'd be so much more organized. It'd just be a bit one-sided towards the end. Like after we'd had a lot of practice, to the point where sometimes we'd go on for a match and you'd see like people would recognize that, oh, these guys all have the same logo, same color scheme. They just drop off because they could tell they're going against a team. So,
well,
even with a weak link, they still drop out.
So
that's that
Modern Warfare, that one.
So is it Modern Warfare? Yes, Modern Warfare 2 now.
Okay.
Caught me off guard then.
Tim,
so you don't actually have to be a really good aim. My aim isn't amazing. Not even gonna lie. I'm shocking with my aim sometimes. But if you can be good with your comms, or you've got a good brain for the game, or you'll still enjoy it, because you'll still be a good part of the team.
Okay.
You could be our human shield, Tim.
Yeah, there you go.
So I didn't get massively into it, but I did quite like Overwatch, because you had the different types of characters. You could be the supportive one. So you're not actually going. You don't have to be like the person right in the front line getting all the kills. You could be the support character that heals people or does buffs and things like that. So if you're not the best at killing people, you can kind of contribute in other ways.
So here we go. We're getting a squad now. So we've got Rob. Rob wants to do it.
Yes, Rob.
So we should do that. And also, we play Among Us quite a lot as well. So.
Do you know how many times I've gone to play it, but I've never actually ended up playing it? So I'll need you guys to teach me how to play it, because I've never actually done it.
It's
good.
It's really, really silly. I play it. We chat on Discord because it's the easiest way to kind of sort of do it, because I've not got it installed on a system, so I play it on my phone. I think Brian plays it on his PlayStation 5, someone plays it on their computer, and we all just chat through Discord. We have like an unwritten rule that when you die, you have to like not say anything and you have to pretend that you're dead. It's good fun.
I've seen that it's gone to VR. I reckon that would be interesting. Is that, I'd imagine, is that you walking through all them corridors? Because I've seen the gameplay.
Yeah.
Has anyone played the VR yet? Is it out
Blunner's has been playing it, I think, but I've not tried it yet. But the only one of us that's played it, I think, is Blunner's.
Yeah.
I would love to try the VR version of it.
It does look like the game itself is very silly, and it's a lot of fun. There's all kinds of accusations being thrown left, right, and centre to try and throw people off the scent.
The thing is, like, we'd not really played it before, and I've only there's things in there that I didn't realise, like when I first started playing. So I only realised after multiple games of it that you can carry on completing tasks after you're dead. So when you're a ghost, you can still complete tasks. I didn't realise that. So I was a ghost. I was just hanging around watching people play. I didn't realise, you can actually still do stuff. Okay. But yeah, didn't realise that until
we get
many hours in.
We get some
that
things.
That reminded me a little bit of Phasmophobia, that one.
A game that I have yet to try. I like horror and I like VR, so there's that should tick every box for me. That does need to happen.
There are some people who absolutely love that game.
Yeah,
I'm not one of those people yet. My friends have tried. I think there's a few things that they could probably include in there that would just be like, yes, okay, I want to play this game. But
so what is it that you're not drawn to in it?
Right, so I'll tell you. So you've got a van. You start in this big moving van. It's nighttime. You've got all different houses. You've got different levels. So the higher the level, the bigger the house, the scarier the ghost, the more dangerous the ghost. On your van, you have to buy all different equipment that's going to help you go in, and you have to discover where the ghost is, and you have to discover what ghost it is. by all the clues it leaves. You've got a book, a journal that'll tell you what you're looking for, give you tips and clues. So you've got a camera, so you could take a picture. You've got like these dots lights where you can see the ghost move through it. You can put salt down and look for footprints. There's loads of things you can do, and then you're just trying to have to narrow it down and guess which ghost it is. And it can actually kill you if you're in there for too long. So you have like a sanity meter, that's it. So you'll walk in, and the longer you're in there, the more scared you get, and your sanity starts to go. And when your sanity's up so high, it can come for you. You need to get out, or you need to hide, which I'm rubbish at hiding. They definitely could do with the graphics being a bit scarier or a little bit more jumpier.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good though.
Thinking of like horror games in VR. We've talked about this a few times on various streams. We haven't mentioned it for a while, but I think one of the best modern horror games for a long time was Alien Isolation. Having that in VR, I think, would be probably one of the most terrifying gaming experiences. That game was stress on a plate, and it was absolutely wonderful for the entirety of like the 14 hours that I just sat there and crapped myself.
Have you
I've never played
Michelle?
it.
Oh,
No.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
If you have any love for the Alien franchise, it's Alien 5 that we never got. It's just sublime.
Oh,
It's
really?
so good.
And I don't want to brag, but I have got the platinum trophy for it. But if you play it in, like, I think it's called Inferno mode or whatever, it's the hardest mode. It is so stressful. It is literally, you hide and they just find you. The alien just finds you straight away. It's so stressful.
So how did you get the platinum trophy then?
A lot of practice. I actually got a couple of guides, loads of saving. So as soon as you go to a save point, you put your little cartridge thing in, you save it, and then you pause it, and you're like, oh, thank God for that. But yeah, it's such a good game. But on the hardest difficulty, it is so stressful. And
That
then
would stress me out.
it is, yeah, really stressful. But the final trophy I needed to get was the one where you have to die like 100 times, or whatever it is. You have to get killed loads of times. And then I looked at a guide, and basically you load up a chapter. So you do a chapter select. And as soon as it starts, you just fire your gun, and then the alien comes out of this vent and just kills you. So I did that for about 20 minutes, and then ping, up it popped. So I was very, very pleased with that. And it's very, very stressful. But it's such a good game.
If you do like Alien, you got to do it.
I do
It's
like the
and
Alien films, yeah.
oh, it's so good. It's so good. Can't.
What console was that on then?
PS4 and PS3,
PS4.
but I'd get the PS4 version. Yeah. It is slightly better.
I just had a look up. It looks like someone has done a VR mod called the Mother VR mod. So it is possible to play Alien Isolation in VR.
I can feel the palpitations kicking in already.
Oh yeah, you've given it to me, and I haven't even played it.
You can pick it up really cheap now as well.
good.
Really cheap. And you can there's DLC where you can download different levels, and it's on the original Nostromo as well. So it's original Alien game. So you can play as, I think, Ripley on that.
They do the exit, don't they? I think where you set the self-destruct mode off like she does in the film, and then you've got 10 minutes to get to the escape pod without the alien catching you.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's the most stressful game of chase you've ever played.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a scary game that I haven't played, because I watched Matt play it. I intended on playing it, but I enjoyed just watching Matt play it that much. And it scared me just watching him, was The Last of Us, the original one, the first one.
Oh, just playing that now, yes.
Yeah, so like when you've got to be quiet because the tickers, if they hear you, they come for you. So many times I got scared just watching Matt play it. And it was a good story.
It is a really good story.
Wait till you get the bloaters, the big ones, basically. I was going to say something, but yeah, the big, quite tall, quite large bill. They're called bloaters. They are horrible. They just rip your face off. It's pretty gross. Yeah, but it's such a good game. I've got that on the PS5, and I'm just working my way through that now.
I'm looking forward to the series when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next month. Oh, I can't wait.
It's on my birthday, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
is it?
That's nice. That's a nice birthday present.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm gradually making my way through Resident Evil 4 VR at the moment. I think I mentioned that last few streams because I'm slowly working my way through it. But
what's that like on VR?
Really good in VR. I think the VR controls are excellent. So in a lot of VR games, it could be a bit of a fumble around to pick up weapons and stuff like that. But actually, like reloading and changing weapons and stuff, and it's quite smooth. So yeah, quite good VR controls. And yeah, it's just pretty good. It's again, it's that good atmosphere of Resident Evil, but where it's a lot more fast paced because it's a lot more of an action shooter. I think there's a lot more opportunity for jump scares because you hear somebody's coming while you're shooting there, and you turn around and they're like right on top of you. It's and then you realise you've got to reload. You're like, Christ, I always try and make sure that I've got a loaded shotgun on my back so that when I run out of bullets to my handgun, rather than trying to reload it, I just pull the shotgun out and blast from close range if they get too close. So you have to kind of.
I don't know what I'm going to be like on VR. Have you seen how I play just on a controller? I'm like I'm in a VR. I don't know what I'm going to be like when I'm actually in a VR.
Oh, you got to do it. It's horror is just perfect for VR. Like I know people like the various simulators and this kind of thing, but I think the best use of VR is horror. It is 100% the best use of it. It's one of the few ways that it can really terrify you to like a new level. Like Resident Evil 7 for me sold me on PlayStation VR purely because I mean I love horror. I've said before, this is apart from this little Disney shelf here, this is all horror basically. And that opening part in Resident Evil 7 where you go into the Baker house, it's like being in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it was just absolutely terrifying. I knew nothing bad was going to happen for at least like 45 minutes, but I still just, the anxiety was like really, really intense and not something
I think
I'd
that's
felt
like
before.
the worst part of 7 actually in terms of like the scary bits. It's not when you've actually got something you're trying to shoot at, it's when there's nothing around, but it's just the atmosphere. And you're like, nothing's tried to kill me for a while now. I don't feel safe. Like something's coming. I just know it's going to happen soon. No, brilliant. That's one of my favorite VR experiences to date, I think, is Resident Evil 7.
It is good times. Like I see we've starred a comment. We normally will star some stuff. If anyone has some stuff in the chat they want to ask us or ask Michelle, do throw stuff in the chat. We will hopefully get to some of those at the end. So putting it on from COD, somehow we started on COD and ended up in horror VR. But we know you from Twitch and the streaming that you do on there. So for anyone that isn't aware, yes, what was it that made you sort of gravitate towards Twitch rather than say YouTube or something else?
So I actually didn't know that streaming on any platform, like streaming gameplay on any platform, was a thing until just after lockdown. So my brother, it was like I said, my brother Johnny's I was close to game with all the time. He dropped a couple comments about Twitch, but he said, Michelle, look it up, you should do it. Didn't think nothing of it, never looked it up. I never like to think, I'm so surprised because I'm such a big gamer, so passionate about gaming, that I didn't know about watching other people on games. So I knew about YouTube videos and YouTube creators, content creators. So instead, I was selling the body shop at home and I used to go live on Facebook and I do like my little bingo games and I sell all these body shop products. But really, I could have had a gaming setup in my room and going live. But I would have so much preferred that. So I started that in January this year. This year I started it, because I got my PC in December. I've always been a PlayStation girl, and then I got a PC, which they are headaches. If you're someone that's not used to a PC, there's always something little could go wrong, and it affects everything, and it drives me nuts. But I play with a SCUF controller on it. Twitch, I think Twitch was a lot easier to set up. It's a lot more friendlier. I know YouTube is growing, and I also see TikTok is growing with its streaming.
Yes, Blunners does a little bit of streaming on TikTok every now and then. But yeah, it's one of these things that we've sort of, I think I enjoy watching people stream on Twitch. It's something new for me to kind of enjoy watching things, because I always used to say to my son, who's obviously big into, he's of that generation that would watch people play games like PewDiePie and Markiplier and all that kind of stuff when they started coming out. And
yeah,
it was always a real strange one for me to be like, why are you watching someone play a game? Why aren't you just playing the game yourself? And then
that's what I was like at the beginning as well.
But then eventually you kind of get into it and you realize, whilst it is fun to watch the person playing the game, you generally gravitate towards someone's personality as a presenter, and you kind of enjoy their commentary of the game they're playing. You enjoy their atmosphere and their banter and the way they interact with people. It's fantastic. And how are you finding your sort of your Twitch journey, your Twitch experience?
So I've actually I'm on a bit of a pause at the minute because of my hands, so which is a bit of a pain. I feel like I can't play the game. I haven't streamed as much, just like in the past month or so. but I have got a Christmas stream planned for this Friday, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm not playing Call of Duty. I've got some quiz questions to do. I've got some like interactive games. I've got a giveaway that I'm doing, and I'm just looking forward to catching up with everybody, really. So you're more than welcome to come and join in with a quiz.
Yes, 100%.
Dorbs
We love
does
quizzes.
love a quiz.
What's the quiz? Films, TV, music?
I'm not telling you, so you can practice.
Dorbs does
It'll
love
be
a
a bit of
quiz.
everything.
Excellent. Yes. What time's that on Friday?
So that'll be on 8 o'clock on Friday.
Okay, because I have just followed you on Twitch. I'm not
Thank you very much.
very good. I don't understand Twitch that much. All I know is I click on something, watch something, and then I can say hello. I don't understand all these loots and all this stuff. So, but yeah, I've just followed you. So yes, Friday at 8. Can I set
Friday,
up
8
the
o'clock.
notifications?
It should give you a notification straight away, but you can set it up that way.
Okay,
I'm just going to get it out there now. Dorbs is very competitive.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am. If I
Good
don't win,
thing
I
I've got
will
3
not.
giveaways then.
What
Do
the giveaway?
you Discord as well?
Yes.
Because I'm thinking of doing another interactive game that will include Discord.
Oh.
So
okay.
it's a few things that I picked up from the body shop at home. So we had to learn how to do online parties. So this was actually Facebook groups. You had to have your own private Facebook group, and we learned how to run a party through that because obviously people couldn't get together anymore. So I'm going to throw some of them in my stream on Twitch.
Excellent. Right, I'm going to put a calendar entry in my phone.
Just while
carry
we are
on.
there,
I'm just doing it now. Carry on. Sorry.
people can stop texting in.
Hey,
Blunners has been
Blunners.
found.
Blunners is here.
He is here. He has made it. He is alive. He hasn't frozen to death. Blunners, there was a rumor that you were in Qatar. Someone had thought they'd spotted you at whatever football game was on.
He could still be. They have internet there. He could still be there.
This is true. They do have internet. They're not allowed to sell Budweiser, but they are allowed the internet. So there's swings and roundabouts with that.
Joe, speaking of doing like get community games and things like that, we did have a fun game of Quiplash the other day, which we played live on a stream. But it was considered too hot for TV. It was immediately taken down.
We had to delete that.
It was immediately taken down by the admins.
Yes.
So what game was this then?
So have you heard of the Jackbox Party Pack games?
No.
Definitely look them up. They're really good fun. I recommend it. Like just with even like non-gamer friends. If you're meeting up with family over Christmas, there's a whole roster of games there. And we played one of them called Quiplash, which is basically, have you ever played Cards Against Humanity before?
I haven't put personally myself, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
So it's like that, but instead of getting cards, it's fill in the blanks. So it's basically a fill in the blanks game. So we'll have a sentence with like a gap you fill in or a question, and everyone submits an answer, and then it just puts 2 answers against each other, and people just vote for whatever they think is the funniest one. But it gets quite dark and quite crude very quickly. I find regardless
Quickly,
of who you're
I'd
with,
say immediately.
even if you're playing
Immediately
with
went
people
dark.
that you don't
You
think
have to
will
have
go
a
that
mature
way.
audience, put it that way.
Yeah, it goes immediately to rude answers. But it's not just that. There's loads of games on there. There's a whole bunch of different sort of quiz. There's like quiz show ones on there and things like that, which are quite fun. There's quite a good one called Fibbage, where you have like a question, which is typically an obscure answer, but you put a pretend answer in, and then all the answers show up on the screen. You have to guess which one is the right answer. But if somebody guesses your answer, you get additional points. You have to put like a convincing answer down in the hopes that someone will get it.
Excellent. So with Twitch, how do you find, because I can't remember, was it Dorbs or Blunt? I think it's Blunt says he finds it quite hard to kind of play games and interact with the chat. How do you find that with Twitch? Do you find that is difficult to keep up with, or is it something you're sort of getting into a groove with now?
If some of my Twitch viewers are in chat right now, they will tell you I am rubbish if I'm on Warzone. I completely miss messages because I get so lost in the game, and then I'll try and catch up. But when my most recent stream, actually, because I didn't play Call of Duty, I just did a mixture of like online games. I did a little bit of Zombie Hunter. And I was talking all the time. I was just chatting away. And Phil messaged me afterwards, calling Dr. Phil. And he went, Michelle, that is the best stream you've had so far. And Phil actually is one of the first gamers that I came in contact with on Instagram when I first started, like before January. And he was the one that was like, come on, Michelle, press the go live button. Just do it. Stop thinking about it. And yeah, I'm glad I have now. And he stuck with me, bless him. But
And
yeah,
is it-
sometimes I'm shocking.
And is it predominantly like Call of Duty that you tend to play on Twitch, or have you got like a few games that you kind of sort of go between?
So it is mostly Call of Duty until recently. Now I like to go between many, but so many of them ask me, "Where's Warzone? Come on, play the new Warzone." And I waited a long time. I waited for Modern Warfare 2 to come out, and my hands started playing up just before it came out. Like,
Man.
so obviously you're doing a lot of running forward and just holding it down. It's really it kills in there. It's actually
Screws
gone
with your
to
hands.
carpal tunnel now. So
No,
I did a
really?
long drive. Yeah, we went to another games industry party for Radical Forge, and I went with the format team, and we did a long drive there and back. So driving, holding a phone, they really can contribute to it. So I went to bed that night, and I had my hand on my hip, and I woke up in the middle of the night with all pins and needles just all the whole way through. So I've been ice packing it. I've been wearing these wrist splints that keeps your thumb still.
Yeah.
It's just not disappearing. It's really lingering, and it's getting on my nerves.
Oh man, that is not good.
No, it's
So
not.
we shall see.
Are there any games that you could stream which don't involve you holding the run button down for quite so long that you're kind of sort of on the periphery with?
I've tried. So I've tried doing keyboard and mouse. So you got your WASD, right? But I know I'm like this, but I notice my hands like this. And I'm going like this. So this is not helping my carpal tunnel. And so with the mouse, you can also get that with your wrist as well.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I feel like an old woman, but seriously. I will get it sorted. I've got plans. It's just time, really. It's just time. And I work in a gym as well. So we've been doing this hangman challenge where you hold on to the pull-up bars as long as you possibly can. You need to try and get to 2 minutes. And you come off by the end of it, your hands are like that, and it's hard to straighten them. So I think just doing stuff like that altogether has not helped.
Oh man, working in a gym, that immediately puts probably everyone bar Dorbs, that probably puts to shame, and Blunners, because Blunners trains his kids' football team as well. But unless Tim goes to the gym, like Christ, I am the least gym centric person in the world. Like, man, I think if I was to get on a treadmill or do anything for longer than 10 minutes, I think I'd be eggs fucking exhausted.
Well, I work in a gym. I don't go to the gym.
But you can do a hangman challenge,
and I tell people how to exercise.
But you could do a hangman challenge for 2 minutes. I think I'd probably.
Well, I managed to do 1 minute and 41 seconds.
That's impressive.
I couldn't get to 2 minutes.
Yeah. I couldn't even manage 20 seconds. It's pathetic.
It's actually quite surprising, because you'll get some of the fittest people will come up and try and do it, and it's quite surprising that little they can do.
I'm a bit out of practice now, but before lockdown, I used to go rock climbing a couple of times a week.
That's very good.
I'm very out of practice now. I'd love to go back and do it, but just too many things got in the way, so I've not done it for a long time. But I might go back to it one day. But that was a really good way of staying in shape. With that, I've never been into going to the gym, because I feel like I'm going to the gym to get better at going to the gym. And I've just never been fully motivated to do it. But climbing was actually I enjoyed the actual act of climbing, and exercise was a good byproduct of doing that.
Definitely.
I think
the New Year's resolution for you there.
Go climbing more.
Go climbing again.
And my literally, see that tangent number, whatever it is of the evening, the only exercise I ever got was skating, and I haven't done that since September, and that was just purely because of work and family. And you're like, oh man, I think my wife would get a divorce if I told her I was going out again in the middle of the week to. I've been in London for work for 3 days. Yeah, I'm just coming back. Yeah, see you later. I'm going skating later.
See ya.
Right. So, yes, I'll throw the Twitch channel back up there. Just for anyone in the chat who hasn't, head over to twitch.tv/SaintMichelle09. Give Michelle a little follow, or what is it they do on it? Is it subscribe?
So they can follow and jump into chat, say hello. They can subscribe if they like.
Yep. So there we go. Jump over, show support.
Definitely come in and say hello.
Don't forget quiz at 8 on Friday. So there's all to play for. If you want to try and beat Dorbs, that can be another reason to get involved in that. See how angry we can make him.
It depends what the topics are, though.
Call of Duty.
I'll get 0 then. I'll get 0 on that. So.
No, it's not really. It's caught you out.
I'm hoping
If
it's going to be
it's-
films, TV, and music.
You definitely
it's
got to have
that,
some
then-
Christmas ones as well.
Christmas number ones, I'll be all right with that, I think. Christmas songs, I'll be all right with. Christmas films, I'll be all right with. Christmas TV, probably will be all right with. Maybe Only Fools and Horses. The Office, maybe. But yeah.
Red Dwarf.
Yes.
I have watched them, but many years ago.
Anything
even
up
like
to
the
like
newer
season
ones.
6.
Yeah, the
Actually,
new ones
I
are
was
all
quite
right.
into the original ones. I couldn't get into the new ones.
I don't
did
mind
give
the
it a
newer
try, but I
ones.
didn't get into it.
The rewatches for me that were seasons 1 to 6. That's golden era Red Dwarf. Thank you very much, Johnny. Yeah,
Hey,
golden
Johnny.
era Red Dwarf. Season 1 to 6. Season 7 was cool and 8 was cool, but some of those newer ones are fine. I do enjoy them, but oh man, classic Red Dwarf.
Yeah,
They just-
classics. Yeah.
They just don't make TV shows like that anymore, and not because they shouldn't or couldn't. I just don't know why. Red Dwarf is something special, man. That's awesome.
I was definitely a daddy's girl. He had me watching Red Dwarf and Only Fools and Horses, and I
Classic.
love all them.
Yeah,
Classic.
man.
Yeah.
Right.
Star Trek I used to watch as well.
No interest in that. No.
Next Generation for me is that's my Star Trek. That's what I used to watch with my old man on a Sunday afternoon. People are either Star Wars or Star Trek, and it's like I like Star Wars, but I think if I had to pick, I would go with Star Trek just for the fact that I used to watch it with my dad. That and those last 3 Star Wars movies were actually no, what was it? Force Awakens was pretty good, and I'm in that camp that doesn't mind the Last Jedi.
Yeah, I don't
But that
mind
last
it. I don't know
one
why
wasn't great.
Don't know why people moan.
Because it's Star Wars, isn't it? Unless it's the second coming of Christ, people get very angry.
They do.
Sorry for anyone that likes Star Wars in the comments. So pulling it in now for our final 2 areas this evening. So we are going to throw at you your Waller's Remasters. So for new people in the chat, Waller's Remasters is something we ask our guests 3 games or up to 3 games that they think deserve a remake or a remaster. And this was first introduced when we did our stream with Rick Waller, and we continue to do this now. So
I'm going to
Waller's
pick one. I
Remasters.
reckon I'm going to do a prediction. One of them is going to be GoldenEye. 100%.
Yep.
Yes.
That's my number one is GoldenEye. Yes,
Okay.
definitely, because that's one that
Very
didn't
good.
age well, and
Yeah.
I'd love to play that again. And they have to have the golden gun.
Yep.
They have to
100%.
put in DK mode, just for
Yeah.
old time's sake. They've got to do it.
That would be cool.
Apart from that one, I really did love Donkey Kong. Well, Donkey Kong 64.
Yep.
I would love them to bring out his own game again. I would love
Like a
one
full
then.
3D one.
Like a full 3D one, but like similar, because I love those retro games so much. Like the Tomb Raider, my third one is going to be a Tomb Raider game because I don't like the new Tomb Raider games. I feel like I'm playing Uncharted or
Yeah,
I'm
I can
playing
see
another
that,
type of game. I don't feel like that's Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
want an old
I-
style Tomb Raider back.
With
I
the butler, would you like him to make a
Oh
comeback?
yes, he's got to come
100%.
back.
From in the
Look out in the
freezer.
fridge.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I kind of liked the newer Tomb Raider games. I thought the one they did on 360 was the best one, the first one. That was definitely the best one, and it took me by surprise that quite how adult it was. But you're right, it's not really classic Tomb Raider. It is more Uncharted than Tomb Raider, but
And I do also think that this is my opinion anyway. We've got James Bond. I think that Tomb Raider could be similar to James Bond, if not as good as James Bond, if someone just did it properly.
yeah.
I love the
Okay.
Angelina Jolie ones. They are, you know what they are, but I'd love it if they did a
Nice.
proper Lara Croft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That could work.
Especially
Those Angelina
nowadays.
Jolie movies are just like it's like good cheese, isn't it? It's the kind of cheese
Yeah.
that you enjoy. You know it's comfortable and it's silly, but it knows what it is. But I didn't see that newer one they did, which looked like they were trying to sort of go more like what the newer games were doing.
It was all right actually.
Was it
And
okay?
you can see that I can't remember the actress's name now, but she trained really well for that film. You can see it in her physique because she's only small, but you could really see that she trained well for that film.
Yeah.
I think she was doing the old hang-up things, whatever they were. You know, where they
The
hang.
pull-up bars.
That's it. Yeah, she's just hanging for 2 minutes. I want to hang for 2 minutes as long as possible.
2 minutes, is that the golden number?
So 2 minutes, you got to try and do it. Just find a bar anywhere and hold on for 2 minutes. No chalk, because that's cheating.
Okay.
Okay. What about gloves? Can you wear gloves?
No.
Right, 30th of December, after we've had a skinful and
Yes.
we've played sensible soccer, we've played Mario Kart, and we've rematched on worms. That's it. We're gonna go and do a 2-minute challenge. See who can do the hangman for 2 minutes.
Yeah, we go to a park or something. Pull up bars.
Oh Jesus! Like 5 grown men in a park. Yeah, no, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, so and our next hashtag, which is in tribute to Liam McGuff. That is McGuff, isn't it? I haven't said that wrong. McGoff, my bad. Sorry, Liam. So Liam's love to hate. So this is a game that is maybe not your favorite game. It's something that's maybe a bit irritating, but there's just something about it that you can't put down. And this can be any game. It could be an old game. It can be a new game. Is there a game that you love to hate?
Warzone. Warzone. I hate that game so much, but I love it at the same time. Like, I could fall out with it for a week. I didn't uninstall it, and I'm like, that's it. I'm not playing it no more. And then a week later, I'm like, or I'd watch a streamer, or I'll see a little Warzone clip, and I'm like, right, I want to get in. You're in it already before you even switch it on.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
No.
It's like your bread and butter.
My bread and butter.
Yeah. Oh man. So if you're sort of having like a fallout love with like Warzone, what would you say is there another game that you sort of have played that you sort of is not great or grates on you, or is Warzone really the one?
Warzone is definitely the one. It's hard to explain because you guys haven't played it. None of you have played it, is that right?
Nope.
No, I've not played it. Hands up, not played it.
Oh, it's so hard. So right, especially if you're in a BR game, right? Before they brought out the smaller map where you've got Rebirth Island, and you could actually, it's called Rebirth Island because when you die, if one of your teammates is still alive, you can come back into the game and respawn. Where if you go into a battle royale game, when you die, you go to this gulag where you fight in a prison one-on-one, and if you win, you go back into the game. If you lose, then you're just watching your friend try and collect the cash to buy your sorry ass back into the game.
Wow. Okay. This is
sounds weird. Okay. Yeah.
So there's always that one teammate. There's always one who will not rush in to save you. He will stay back. He or she will stay back and stay quiet. And then when you all die because they didn't help you, they'll run off, and they're the reason you're still in the game. So they're the ones that'll end up buying you back in the end anyway.
Okay, I feel like this needs to happen now in the new year.
Yeah.
I thought it was just online multiplayer. I didn't realize there's this like subcategory to it as well, where
There's so much you can do. Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to get into these Call of Duties. I'm gonna have to start. I know we said offline I've started to collect them. You sort of inspired me to collect them. There's my pathetic collection in the background. So yeah.
Have you got Black Ops 3 in there?
No.
I did like the zombies in that one as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick them up. I did have Black Ops, the original Black Ops, the PS3, but I did sell it. Yeah, wasn't a fan of that one, but you've inspired me to collect them, so I'm gonna.
Nice. I'm glad I could inspire
maybe
you.
one a month. Yeah, it's good. Maybe one a month. That'd be my little treat.
I don't know. I don't think this question has been put to you two before. Are there any games that you guys love to hate that you kind of just constantly go back for, like an abusive relationship? Is there a game that you have that with?
There was one, Uncharted 4, because I was doing it on crushing mode, and there's a bit where you're sort of there's like a shipwreck and a bit of water, and then you go into another shipwreck, and then where I started, I had like 3 bullets in my gun, and it was impossible to get past, and it took me 4 years of doing it. Not constantly, not every day, not every week, not every month, but yeah, 4 years to get past that bit. And as soon as I got past it, it was fine.
You are dedicated.
I am. I think I was either dedicated or stupid to try and get all the platinums. But yeah, eventually I did get the platinum for that, and I think that's my longest Uncharted platinum. That probably took 4.5 years, maybe 5 years to get that. I'll have to look it up actually. So, but yeah, Uncharted 4 for me. I loved it, but I hated that level because on crushing mode, so hard, ridiculously hard.
I don't understand this collecting trophies. I've never ever been a gamer that wants to complete a game again just for the trophies. Tell me why you do it.
Ooh. Interesting. Because
Yeah,
I mean, Dorbs is
just for the
much more of a
buzz.
trophy hunter, I would say,
Yeah,
than
it's just
I
nice
am.
it's just nice to complete a game 100%. And it's just nice to get the platinums. Like I could spend. There's a couple of games you can get easy platinums, which are a bit boring. But like Alien Isolation took me quite a few years to get that. I got all the platinums for the Uncharted. I got Days Gone, Cyberpunk. I've completed on the PS3 and the PS4 and the PS5. I've got both those platinums. Trying to think what other platinums I've got.
Here's a question for you then. Say when a new game comes out and you know you're going to do a trophy on this game, do you just go straight through the game with the intention of getting the trophy from that first play? Or do you play it and then go back again for the trophies?
Yeah, I'll play it and then go back. So when I get a game like The Last of Us, I've got it on the PS3, PS4, now I've just got it on the PS5. So my first playthrough, I've just played it on my own, just no guys, just playing it as normal. And now my second playthrough, I've done a new game plus, so I've still got all my guns and stuff like that, all my upgrades, yada yada yada. But now what I'm going to do, I'm not that far into it on the second playthrough, but I've used a trophy guide, so it shows you where all the collectibles are, all the leaflets you've got to pick up, all the comics you've got to pick up, etc., etc. So that'll be my second playthrough, is going to get that. And hopefully, because there's a couple of trophies that you need where you need to do a certain act, so hopefully that guide shows me what to do. Otherwise I'll have to have another playthrough. But I'm pretty sure it's got a chapter select. Once you completed it, it's got a chapter select. So
that's cheating.
It's not cheating. It's not cheating. Definitely not cheating. 100%.
I don't think I've not always gone in for trade. Like I tend to do more Xbox and PlayStation, so I suppose it's more the achievement points. But I don't think I normally deliberately go after the achievement points unless it's a game that I'm really into, that I've played, and then once I finish playing it, be like, oh, what else is there to do? And sometimes the achievements will be like, oh, you've got to, I don't know, kill a certain enemy a certain number of times, or you need to like beat a level without dying, or all those extra little bits like that. So, okay, I'll give that a try, see if I can do it. So I think for me, sometimes it just extends the longevity of a game if you really like it, because it gives you a few little challenges.
It does.
Cuphead was one that I tried hard on, so I bought it for Xbox and just played through it and realized this is a bloody hard game, and then got like a 20 quid PlayStation voucher for Christmas last year and just sat on it for months, and then was like, oh, Cuphead's out on PlayStation, and now there's a physical version, so I'm gonna have to bloody buy the game again. And I thought, I just sort of, just out of morbid curiosity, just thought, I wonder what the trophies are like for this game, considering it is a punishingly difficult game. And some of the trophies were like, you need to get an A- ranking on every boss fight in the game, including like the devil, which was quite a difficult one. And I thought, I wonder if I could do that. So I've managed to get like 80% of the trophies for Cuphead, but I'm not going to be able to get all of them, because some of them are just like complete the game without like shooting someone or without using your weapon on like the certain level. No, it's just not going to happen. But things like, I know this is Dorbs' favorite series of all time, but like Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4, like Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game. So when that came out as a remake, it was like, well, I'm definitely going to be playing this multiple times. And that, I think, was one of the hardest platinum trophies I've ever tried to get. Completing that game on hard mode was really, really difficult. So I think I'm less of a hunter and more of, if it's a game that I know I'm going to play multiple times, I'll have a look and see what I need to do to sort of get some of these trophies. And if they're like quite challenging ones, it's like, I see it as a challenge. Can I do this? But there are some people that just don't play the game for the story. They don't play it for anything. They just gun for those trophies. And I don't quite understand that, because I generally play a game because there's something about it that I want to play, which isn't just, I want a trophy. That seems like a very weird way to play a game.
Well, Uncharted 4 took me 4 years, 2 months. And Alien
Isolation.
Isolation.
Stats up now, look.
I'm looking at my trophies. Alien Isolation took me 6 years and 8 months to get the platinum for that. But I did have a period where I just didn't play it because it was too hard.
And did it age in that time?
Yeah, because I just forgot what you're supposed to do. It's like I don't know where I am. I've loaded my save going. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so I had to use a guide. But yeah, that's quite bad, isn't it? Nearly 7 years to get a platinum. That is quite bad.
I agree, Gamertron.
Story now. Skip the cutscenes. Who cares about them? I ain't got time to watch them.
Unless you really need to have watched that cutscene.
Man, Dorbs is.
If you get a trophy
famous.
for watching the cutscene, I'll watch it. Believe me. But otherwise, skip.
Yeah, Dorbs is famous for skipping cutscenes in story-driven games.
I don't know how you can do that because you just have no idea what's
He's
going
got
on.
time to watch it. I want to play the
Yeah,
game.
but
I want to watch something.
Yeah, but doesn't like the cutscene explain the narrative of what's going on in the game?
Well,
Like,
I can pick that up. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's better if you get to the end and you don't know what's going on, and then you can just make up your own story. Sometimes it's a bit better. This bloke turns up like, "Oh, I can't believe you've done this." I'm like, "What? What have I done? I don't understand. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me so much? I don't know why you hate me so much." But yeah,
So would you say
fun.
this just before we sort of look to pull in and wrap it up, are there games that you would sort of maybe not play like a second time round through or anything like that, or are you someone that will play a game multiple times?
It's
That's
me or
to you,
Dobbs?
Michelle. Oh yeah, for you.
Me?
I know.
Oh,
Dobbs does it
sorry.
It's not my
multiple
interview.
That I wouldn't play a second time round.
Or traditionally, if you've got like The Last of Us, is that a game or something like that you would play multiple times, or do you tend to play a game that's story driven and you kind of like one and done type thing?
I don't know. It depends if anything else is interesting me at the time. If there's nothing new, then I will go back to one. But honestly, this whole online thing has just changed everything. I haven't been able really to, other than my hands, to get off Warzone. Anyone else will tell you that knows me.
Yeah.
Like I've even tried to go back to Grand Theft Auto GTA, which I'm really looking forward to GTA 6 when it does come out. I'm really looking forward to that. But again, I don't enjoy it anymore unless I've got someone to play with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've given myself a really bad habit now. So we shall see. I'm wondering if format might bring me a new game that's going to take my interest.
I mean, this I'm just going to throw this out there because it's a game that really took me by surprise, and it is a online multiplayer game only. But how are you with Ghostbuster franchise? Do you enjoy the movies? Do you have a like for it, or is it just something?
I love the movies. I've never actually played a Ghostbusters game.
Oh wow! So not even on like the Commodore 64.
No.
Not even that classic. Oh wow!
So definitely 2 Ghostbusters games. And if you've not played like Ghostbusters the video game, the one they did on PS3 and the remaster on PS4, that is essentially Ghostbusters 3, and it's very, 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 very good. So if you just want to play a cool Ghostbusters game, that's very good. The new ones.
Is it? I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't get the story.
I'm not surprised, mate. I'm not surprised when you skip cutscenes.
Didn't understand it. I was like, what?
The new, oh my god, I keep getting the name confuddled, and I shouldn't because it's right there and I just can't see it. Spirits something. Either way, it looks like the cartoon, but it's set in like the old movie universe, I guess. But the whole thing is 4 Ghostbusters, 1 ghost, catch the ghost. And that's it, 4v1 multiplayer online. And it is the most addictive game that I have played all year.
But like,
okay.
Spirits Unleashed.
To Predator Hunting Grounds, similar to that sort of same.
Yeah, so it's I think it's the first person Ghostbuster game, and you can upgrade your proton pack, you can upgrade your trap, you can customize your character in a multitude of different ways. But yeah, if you like online multiplayer, Ghostbusters.
Did you ever play Evolve?
So good.
Did you ever play Evolve when that was out? I don't think you can do it anymore. Yeah, I think Evolve's not available now.
No, they turned that server down really quickly.
Yeah, I don't think it did very well. I think it got shut down because people weren't really playing it. But I played it with a few mates for a while. It was a bit of a giggle. It was right. Yeah, it sounds a little bit similar to that. Like one person's the monster, the other people are a team trying to stop it, but the monster can level up and stuff.
I do wish they'd create some more co-op games for you to play at home.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in a household now, especially being a family of 5, if you don't each have your own console, you can't play together. It's very other than Nintendo. So like I remember playing Army of 2 on the PlayStation with Matt. Me and Matt would play that.
Yep.
I did like Portal. Did you play Portal?
Portal's amazing.
Yeah, great fun.
But I don't I don't really know any co-op games anymore now. That's not online.
I
That's a good point,
did
yeah.
a little bit of couch co-op with my middle daughter with Streets of Rage 4. So if you like Streets of Rage, side-scrolling beat 'em ups, you can do that as a sort of couch co-op type thing. That was really good fun. That was
Mhm.
excellent game.
Hmm.
I
There
think
is got
Final
one-
Vendetta does as well.
Final Vendetta. There's one called It Takes Two, which we've started and we haven't finished, but that's my fault. It's not the game's fault. I just couldn't get off Warzone. But It Takes Two, that's quite... Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
I've seen it, yes.
Yeah, so that they end up going into... It's a man and wife. They've got a daughter. They're going through a little bit of a relationship issues. And I don't think the daughter makes a wish, and they both end up going into these little dolls in the house, and they get stuck inside the house and they have to try and find their way through and do all these challenges together. But they have to work together to get out. It's quite all right.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's your mister there, giving it some love for Army of Two. Bang.
Army of Two. I loved Army of Two. Matt, who was a better player?
See,
shots fired.
if he was
live.
sensible, if Matt is sensible, which I'm sure he is, he would say you.
No,
if he's, I was going to say brave, but if he's very silly, he will say him, because I'm sure that you'll have a go
he's
at
also competitive.
See, my wife likes a sort of side-scrolling platformer, so she'll occasionally, when she has like a bit of time off, she might whip out the old Super Nintendo Mini and play Mario World. But outside of that, she just gets aggravated with 2 thumbsticks and just I've tried to get her into some games. She's like, nope, this is your thing. Laters. Like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2-player Mario World. My wife is in. Awesome.
I can't believe I haven't spoken about Pokemon on Game Boy. I can't believe I didn't bring that up. I love that game.
Original Game Boy?
Well, I didn't have an original Game Boy. I had the Game Boy Color. I do remember my cousin having the original one.
Yeah.
That is a series that I enjoy the games, but I could not tell you anything that happens in the TV shows or the movies or anything. I just randomly, I'll normally play a Pokemon game on whichever generation system it is. The games are great. The games are so much fun.
I've actually got a little one here. This is the yellow Pokemon one.
Oh, nice.
I used to like the red one with Charmander.
Expensive.
Well, this Nintendo and all the games behind it is actually my brother Johnny's. I've nabbed him off him because he's been collecting them. And he's been collecting like all the little extra bits for it.
Oh man. Is that Pokemon Snap?
Cool.
So what is this one? This one? No, this one is... It's just yellow, Pokemon Yellow.
Oh, no.
So, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue.
The N64 adapter bit, I thought that might have been for Pokemon Snap.
You know, you've lost me there. I don't know.
I think it is. I'm not sure.
Well, we got some breaking news. Matt is, of course, very, very sensible because he's put, of course, you. So
there you go. Just seen it, of course.
Very sensible. Very, very, very sensible.
Excellent. Right.
Stuff.
Very, very quickly go to 2 questions that people have asked. I'm sure this has got a question in it anyway. There's a question mark, so we'll throw it up and see what happens. Does anyone play Pilot Wings on Nintendo 64?
I haven't actually played that, no.
It's Pilot Wings is definitely a game. I have got it on the N64 and it is good fun. But for me, the best Pilot Wings game is the one on the 3DS, the Pilot Wings Resort. It's one of those really relaxing games where you can just kind of play it for 2 seconds or play it for, I don't know, 2 hours if you want to. It's a real strange series and they don't seem to have brought it back. I always thought they'd bring back Pilot Wings, but they certainly never did. And then my horror brother Kevin is thrown up there. Michelle, what is the most scared you've ever been while playing a game?
Kevin, I feel like that question is going to get someone jumping behind me in a minute trying to scare the crap out of me. The scared I've ever been in a game might have been Phasmophobia, like the first time I played it. So before I knew actually how it worked, you're walking into this dark building with no lights on, and this ghost this ghost can come and kill you. So what happens is your lights flash on and off, and I'm just there like, I did scream. But then nothing really happens to you. That's it. And then it's kind of like, oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I feel like they could really play with you a lot more in that game.
I do feel like I need to jump on this. Can you get it on PlayStation or is it PC only?
I'm not quite sure. We'll have to have a look. Phasmophobia.
I feel like I need
I like
to.
I like the flashing idea. But
It's on Steam.
ooh,
I'll have to convince my son to download it and let me actually play use the Oculus 2 or something, which I feel like is going to be hard work because he quite enjoys that. So
We have to send each other a list after this of all the games we recommend to play.
okay, that can be
100%.
done. That can
100%.
definitely be done. Alien Isolation is top of the list, by the way. Yes, that can be done. That can be done.
Bubblegum Zombie Hunter. I keep telling everybody it's awesome. I love this game.
It's definitely going to be
Surprising.
on the top list, I think.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
We'll have to get streaming them.
Also,
Yes.
I would like to invite you all to our next format event in Manchester next year.
Ooh,
We haven't
format
announced
event.
the date yet, but it will be announced next month.
oh, fantastic!
So have you heard of format?
Is that the one on
the
your
whim.
Twitter? Is that the one on your Twitter?
It's on my Twitter and my Instagram,
Yes.
yeah. So it's based in Manchester. So imagine a night out.
Yep.
With your friends, whoever you want to bring, and you've got food, drinks, you've got music, you've got games. So you'll have games set up everywhere, VR games, PC games. You'll have the developers that made the games. You get to talk to them and interact with them, and sometimes they bring brand new games that aren't even released yet, so you can try them all. You got your gaming brands. So we have Wraith Energy, which have like little slushy machines, and they give you little pots of slushies, and you will be awake all night if you drink that. You have to try it. It's good. So you're more than welcome to come. You in the community, if anyone wants to go.
Amazing. Is that Dorbs? Is that where you're going with?
Is that the? Can you see that?
Is that it?
That's the Twitch channel.
So that's
not
the
the
format Twitter.
Yeah.
So they've got a website as well.
Oh yeah, Format GG.
Instagram. Yeah, Format GG.
Amazing. Thank you very much. You will more than likely see us then. We're always up for a chuckle and sort of traveling around to try and meet new people. So count us in.
Yay. Awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely.
Meet each other in the flesh.
Yes, in the wild, as we say, which Ryan hates. He hates that phrase.
And we can get competitive on the games.
You're throwing that gauntlet down now. That's definitely going to happen.
Yes, definitely keep us in the loop for that one. 100%. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much.
Right, I am very aware we have kept you for an hour and a half this evening, so I will look to wrap it up there. So again, for people in the chat, head on over to Twitch and give Michelle a follow or a subscribe if you fancy. Are there any other social medias you want to plug where people can find you, people can interact with you?
I'm SaintMichelle09 on all my socials, so feel free to follow me on anyone you like. Thank you so much for having me, lads. Feel very privileged.
No, don't say that. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have people on. Thank you everyone in the chat for keeping that going. It's been great to see you. It's been great to see some new faces in there as well. So if you are new here and you've enjoyed this, we have a plethora of other content. Please do consider hitting that little cheeky subscribe button. It definitely helps us out a ton. Hit that little thumbs up button as well, because everybody says you got to do that. So why not hit that thumbs up button? Let's see what happens. Just thank you again for giving us your time. It's been absolutely wonderful to get to talk to you.
Thank you.
We will be next week. We have our Christmas special, albeit it's going to be a little bit more low key than it was last year. But we will be announcing how people can win our 1,000 sub giveaway, which we'll be announcing next week. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. All the meanwhile, he's frantically trying to find the outro button. We are the most professional outfit on the internet going. Right, there we go. I have found it. So, Michelle, thank you so much again.
We've got to do a hangman challenge for 2 minutes before we go.
I can do it here.
I'm done. I've had enough.
Excellent. Thank you again.
Hey, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. And we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Yes.